Welcome to Golden Bachelor. If you love celebrity news and real entertainment updates, you're in the right place. For Bachelor fans, love stories don't end when the final rose is handed out. Sometimes the most interesting chapter begins after the cameras turn off. And for Alexe and Andrew Spencer, life after Bachelor in Paradise has been full of surprises, laughter, real conversations, and moments that prove their connection didn't stay behind on a beach. When Alexe and Andrew first crossed paths in Paradise, no one could predict how their story would unfold. Paradise has a way of speeding everything up. Emotions, decisions, and connections all happen under the pressure of cameras, group dates, and endless opinions from the outside world. But somehow, in the middle of all that chaos, Alexe and Andrew found something that felt calm, natural, and refreshingly honest. Now that Paradise is behind them, the question fans have been asking is simple. What happens when fantasy turns into real life? Alexe and Andrew admit that stepping away from Paradise was both exciting and intimidating. On the beach, everything is shared: meals, conversations, and even emotions. In the real world, things slow down. Suddenly, it's not about rose ceremonies or dramatic moments. It's about everyday choices, communication, and learning how two different lives fit together. Andrew, known for his charm and sense of humor, has been open about how much he values emotional honesty. He believes that the strongest part of their relationship is how comfortable they are talking about the hard stuff. Not just the fun moments, but the awkward ones, the uncertain ones, and the moments where growth is required. Alexe brings a grounded energy to their dynamic. She's thoughtful, observant, and unapologetically herself. She's shared that after Paradise, she realized how important it is to protect the connection they built. Not everything needs to be shared with the world, and not every opinion needs a response. Sometimes the healthiest thing a couple can do is focus inward. Of course, life after Paradise hasn't been without its funny moments. Both Alexe and Andrew laugh about how different normal dating feels after being on a reality show. Going out in public, being recognized, and having strangers feel invested in their relationship takes some getting used to. But they've learned to find humor in it and to lean on each other when it feels overwhelming. They've also talked about how Paradise helped them understand what they truly want in a partner. Away from the distractions, they were able to see each other clearly. Andrew appreciates Alexe's calm confidence and the way she listens. Alexe admires Andrew's emotional depth and the way he shows up with intention, not just words. What stands out most about their story is that they aren't rushing to label or force anything. They're letting things grow naturally. They check in with each other. They ask questions. They respect boundaries. And in a franchise often known for dramatic declarations, that kind of steady approach feels refreshing. Alexe has shared that one of the biggest lessons she learned is the importance of choosing someone who feels like peace, not pressure. Andrew echoes that sentiment, saying that real connection isn't about constant excitement. It's about consistency, trust, and laughter on ordinary days. And yes, there is plenty of laughter. Andrew's playful personality brings lightness to their relationship, while Alexe's dry humor keeps him grounded. They tease each other, poke fun at their Paradise experience, and aren't afraid to admit they're still learning. That honesty is exactly why fans continue to root for them. They've also been clear about how much they value support from Bachelor Nation, but they don't let outside expectations define their relationship. They understand that viewers saw a small slice of their journey. The real work happens away from the spotlight, in quiet conversations and shared experiences that don't make it on screen. Life after Paradise has allowed them to rediscover each other without distractions. No group dates, no competition, just two people figuring out what makes sense for them. Andrew has mentioned that being in a relationship after Paradise feels more intentional.
He's more aware of how he communicates and how his actions affect his partner. Alexe appreciates that level of awareness, noting that it creates a sense of emotional safety. For fans wondering whether Paradise connections can survive the real world, Alexe and Andrew offer a hopeful answer. It's not easy, but it's possible when both people are willing to grow. They're not trying to be perfect. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're just showing up honestly, one day at a time. And maybe that's what makes their story so compelling. In a franchise filled with dramatic twists, their journey feels relatable. It reminds viewers that love doesn't have to be loud to be meaningful. Sometimes it's built quietly, with patience, humor, and mutual respect. As they continue navigating life after Paradise, Alexe and Andrew remain focused on what matters most: connection, communication, and enjoying the ride together. Whatever the future holds, one thing is clear: the bond they formed didn't stay behind on the beach. It followed them home. And for Bachelor fans, that might be the most satisfying ending of all. If this story made you smile, brought back your favorite Paradise memories, or reminded you why you fell in love with the franchise in the first place, keep that feeling close and share it with someone who loves Bachelor Nation just as much as you do. As Alexe Golden and Andrew Spencer continue settling into life beyond Paradise, one thing becomes clear very quickly. This chapter is quieter, but far more meaningful. Without cameras following every move, they've discovered parts of each other that never had space to breathe on the beach. Andrew has admitted that one of the biggest surprises has been how different real-world dating feels after such an intense experience. In Paradise, emotions move fast because everything is accelerated. In real life, love unfolds in moments most people never see: late-night phone calls, spontaneous grocery runs, long conversations about nothing and everything at the same time. Alexe has shared that those ordinary moments are where she feels the most connected. Whether they're cooking together, laughing over small mistakes, or simply enjoying comfortable silence, she's realized that real intimacy doesn't need an audience. It just needs presence. Of course, they didn't magically step into perfection. Like any couple transitioning from a unique environment into everyday life, there were adjustments. Different schedules, different routines, different expectations. But instead of avoiding those challenges, Alexe and Andrew leaned into them with honesty. Andrew, who has always been emotionally expressive, has learned the importance of listening without trying to fix everything. Sometimes Alexe doesn't need solutions, she just needs to be heard. Alexe, in turn, has learned that vulnerability doesn't mean weakness.
Their
It
dynamic
means trust.
thrives on balance. Andrew brings warmth, humor, and openness. Alexe brings clarity, calm, and emotional intelligence. Together, they ground each other. When one overthinks, the other reassures. When life feels overwhelming, they remind each other to slow down. And yes, there's still plenty of laughter. They joke about how strange it is to explain their love story to people who didn't watch the show. So you met on a beach while dating other people on TV? It never sounds normal out loud, and that alone keeps them laughing. Humor has become one of their strongest tools, helping them stay connected even when things feel unfamiliar. Alexe has spoken about how important it is for her to feel chosen, not just publicly, but privately. Andrew makes that choice every day, through consistency rather than grand gestures, small check-ins, thoughtful messages, showing up when it matters. Those details mean more to her than anything that ever happened in front of a camera. Andrew has also reflected on how Paradise helped him understand himself better. Being in that environment forced him to confront old patterns and emotional habits. Life after Paradise gave him the chance to apply those lessons in real time, with someone who encourages growth rather than perfection. For fans watching from the outside, it's refreshing to see a couple not rushing to define their future. Alexe and Andrew aren't making promises for the sake of appearances. They're building something at a pace that feels right to them.
They've talked openly about protecting their relationship from noise. Opinions will always exist, expectations will always follow, but they've agreed that the only voices that truly matter are their own. That mindset has helped them stay grounded and focused on what they're creating together. There's also a deep respect between them that fans can't help but notice. They speak about each other with kindness. They don't interrupt. They don't dismiss. They don't compete. In a world that often glorifies drama, their calm connection stands out. Alexe has said that Paradise taught her something powerful, that love doesn't have to feel chaotic to be real. With Andrew, she feels safe enough to be herself, without performing or proving anything. That sense of ease has become the foundation of their relationship. Andrew feels the same. He's shared that being with Alexe feels grounding, like coming home after a long day. She challenges him in thoughtful ways, encourages him to grow, and reminds him that real love is built through effort, not intensity alone. As time goes on, they continue learning how to merge two lives into one shared rhythm. It's not always perfect. Some days are quieter than others. Some conversations are harder. But every experience adds another layer to their bond. And maybe that's why fans remain so invested. Alexe and Andrew's story doesn't feel like a fairy tale. It feels real. It reflects what love looks like after the excitement fades and the real work begins. Life after Paradise isn't about roses or dramatic declarations. It's about choosing each other when no one is watching. It's about showing up on ordinary days. It's about laughter, patience, growth, and trust. Their journey reminds us that sometimes the most beautiful love stories don't end with the final episode. They begin after it. And as Alexe Godin and Andrew Esper continue walking forward, together, Bachelor fans can't help but wonder where this road will lead next. Wherever it goes, one thing is certain. The connection they built in Paradise has grown into something far deeper, far stronger, and far more lasting than anyone expected. If this continuation made you feel hopeful about love after reality TV, or love in real life, hold on to that feeling and pass it along to someone who believes the best stories don't end when the cameras stop. Thanks for watching Golden Bachelor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next big story.